I encountered a situation here where this section of this 1.5-inch drain pipe is completely clogged, and that's probably due to not having much of a slope, if any slope at all on it. It's just collected all this hair and stuff. I tried to snake it out, it wasn't working. Anyways, we're going to replace this whole piece here. I'm cutting it with a sawzall. That's going to be the first step. If you don't have a union or anywhere you can just easily unscrew it, if you're junking some drain pipe, just go ahead and cut it with a sawzall, like I'm doing here.
So it's hard to get a shot of it with this camera because of the lighting, but I'll show you a picture I took with the flash on my phone. That pipe that had no slope was completely packed full of whatever, grease, hair. God, it's all just in there, and you can see even going into the main boy over here on these 45s, it's still packed full. It's hard to tell, but that is packed full of whatever. I'm gonna pull those off too and throw them away. Ugh.
A little bit of apology, I didn't film this very great. I got a time lapse here for you. Coming off of the main pipe here, I got an 1.5-inch little coupler thing. It's just a female threaded into a little piece of pipe, and then I got 45 going into another 45. You can see me there, I'm just kind of fitting them up, kind of getting an idea. And, you know, I could actually use a street 45 straight into the other 45 is probably what I should have did, but I just used 2 regular 45s. And there I'm putting some tape on it because I could not find a marker to mark where I wanted those to be at, so I just put some tape to kind of help me line them up. And there I'm gluing it. As you can see, it's going kind of fast. I'm kind of putting some glue on there and just sticking them together. And the thing I did learn recently is you don't need to use primer with especially drains, but I read an article about using primer actually makes the joint weaker than just using the straight PVC glue and gluing it right together. So, and they scientifically tested that, and you can see me there. I put the little clean out in. That's actually probably just going to catch most of the hair and stuff that gets flushed down this drain, which is probably going to be pretty gross. But you know, fitting this stuff together, really, like you can see, I'm just winging it, eyeballing it. I didn't bust out a tape measure at all. Just kind of getting it where it needs to go and cutting it. I cut this on my miter saw. You can cut it by hand with a hand saw. This stuff's pretty easy to work with. It's not too bad. I definitely encourage you to kind of do it the same way I'm doing it. When you have something in between 2 points to fit together, honestly, I've always had good luck just going for it and eyeballing it and getting it to fit. Never had any issues doing that. Alright, so here's the new drain, PVC, and you know, this is actually pretty easy to hook up, guys, if you need to do any drains like this yourself, especially now that you know you don't need to use primer. In this video I talked about how you can look up an article and they scientifically tested PVC, and so somehow when you don't use primer, you just put the glue on there, it's actually stronger. I don't know, don't ask me, you gotta refer to that article. I'll link to it in the description if you're curious. But that makes putting this stuff together so much easier. So we got, you know, this is a threaded to sleeve fit to 45 to another 45, and let me show you levelness here so you can get an idea. And I really don't have that much slope in this. I was hoping to put some slope in it because the problem from the beginning was the old one didn't have any slope. Now I don't really have any slope, so oh well. Ended up being this way, but I put a little extra clean out here. I don't know if that's how those are supposed to be or whatever, but it's definitely a good spot to get in a snake or whatever if you need to down here. And it's just up here, we just fitted it together. It's really like putting a puzzle together. You just start one end and then cut a little piece, do a couple angles, just eyeball it. If you can tell in the time lapse, I really just eyeballed most of this, even the cuts. I never used a tape measure once. That's all you gotta do, just try to fit the stuff together, really. And it works great. That pipe that was here was real freaking gross. And I just want to show you under
the cabinet. Sorry, this video is probably really grainy because there's no light. I had to jack it up. But there is where the pipe comes up. This is a wall pipe. It's not coming up through the floor. I mean, it comes up through the floor, but it terminates at the wall. And all you got is a little elbow, and they actually step it down 2 1/4 inches. They sell those little step downs. And that's where you can hook up your sink, your little compression fittings and stuff. This stuff on this end is surprisingly easy. If you never mess with these compression fittings, just get into it at Home Depot. They got kits and stuff. It's actually really simple. It's pretty rare a lot of people are going to experience a drain issue quite that bad, but hopefully if you see this video, I've inspired a little confidence in you that you can replace your own drain. Just go into Home Depot. It's not that hard. It's really not that bad. Start fitting it together like some Legos, glue that crap together. Hey, you can cut it with a hacksaw, cut it with a miter box, or my miter saw, whatever. It's actually pretty easy stuff to work with, so you can do it.